Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams, what we can expect from the newly acquired quarterback, and the expectations we can place on the Rams for this upcoming NFL season. Before I hop into the content of today's video, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and drop a like in the video if you guys do enjoy it. If you want to get more connected with the channel and me, I'll have my Twitter and Discord in the description, so if you guys want to check either of those out, feel free to. And with all that being said, let's hop into the video about Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams had a pretty good season last year if you consider what they accomplished. They made it to the divisional round where they lost to the MVP Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, but they did go 10-6 and defeat their division rival in the first round of the playoffs. But with what the Rams have built in Los Angeles, they want more than a divisional appearance. They want to win Super Bowls, and we know that they made it a couple years ago when they faced Tom Brady and the Patriots, but they did not come through in that Super Bowl, and they're trying to return there and get to the promised land. The organization, and especially Sean McVay, did not believe Jared Goff possesses the skills to actually lead this team to a Super Bowl victory. I think over the past couple of years, they realized that, hey, this guy needs everything to be perfect for us to actually make a run to the Super Bowl. Because if we remember correctly, when they did make that Super Bowl run, they had one of the best running attacks in the league. And of course, they had prime Aaron Donald and a stout defense again to anchor the team. And it's very hard to keep that up year in and year out, having a top rushing attack, having a great defense, and being flawless as a coach. It's hard to keep doing that and maintaining that level of success that you want to as a team. So instead of trying to make everything else perfect and keep, an average quarterback, the Rams went out and they made sure to get a bona fide top 10 quarterback in the National Football League in Matthew Stafford. The Rams sent 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and Jared Goff to the Lions for Matthew Stafford. And that's a pretty good haul if you ask me for the Lions as a rebuilding team. They're going to get an average quarterback who has had a lot of winning success in his career to kind of lead the way for the rebuild, and they're going to get a lot more capital and draft picks to actually build something special in Detroit. And the Rams, on the other hand, are going to get a star at quarterback, and hopefully he can lead their team to what they've been trying to accomplish the last couple of years, and that's a Super Bowl victory. Matthew Stafford has not won a playoff game. He's actually 0-3 in his postseason career. And that's a level of concern that some Rams fans and people in the NFL have about Stafford. Although he puts up some good numbers and always seems like he's a top quarterback in the league, he's never actually won on the level of what you want out of your starting quarterback, and he hopes to turn that around with the Rams. Stafford is often one of the most unappreciated players in the entire league, and people think that's really because of where he was playing, and that was with the Lions. The Lions have been in the basement of the NFL for, it seems like, forever, and they often don't gain the respect of NFL peers because of how they produce on the football field. Stafford, dealing with a couple of injuries throughout his last couple seasons with the Lions, he still put up fairly good numbers. In 2019, in limited games, he had 64% completion percentage, 2,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. And then this past year, he had 64 completion percentage again, 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. So Stafford put up pretty good numbers with the Lions despite their overall team and coaching not being very good. But I expect Stafford to put up even better numbers in a quarterback-friendly offense that Sean McVay runs, and with the weapons that they have in Los Angeles. Their 2 best receivers being Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. They also have Tyler Higbee, and their first pick in the draft this year, because they traded away their first for Stafford, was Tutu Atwell out of Louisville, and that's another speedy target for Stafford to work with. They also have year 2 of Cam Akers, who had a really good rookie season, and I expect him to take another leap in year 2 and be even better as a sophomore player. You also can't forget about Van Jefferson and Deshaun Jackson, who they actually signed. We'll see if he can revitalize his career a little bit in Los Angeles. So the Rams are really deep at wide receiver, and they have a lot of weapons to work with. The Rams also have some good pieces on their offensive line. We know they have Mr. Reliable and Andrew Whitworth, who's been in the NFL for what seems like an eternity now. Of course, they have Austin Blythe at center, Austin Corbett at right guard, and Rob Havenstein at right tackle. And we're going to see how David Edwards works out at left guard, but that's really the offensive line that they're working with, and we're going to see if they can be stable up front for Stafford. The Rams defense was ranked number 1 in the NFL last year in points allowed per game. They have some studs on their team. I think we know them all, and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, who really anchor the secondary and defensive line of that unit. They brought back Leonard Floyd to a pretty big contract, but they did lose a handful of players for their defense this year, and we're going to have to see how some of these young players step up. John Johnson and Troy Hill both went to Cleveland, and they are out the door, and they were two pretty big impactful players in the Rams secondary last season. The Rams kind of expected that this day was going to come, and they drafted Terrell Burgess and Jordan Fuller, and we're going to see how both of those guys fit in and work together to take over for the loss of Johnson and Hill. But it sounds like the Rams are pretty confident in these young players to kind of excel right away and be kind of at the level of Hill and Johnson were last season. Michael Brockers and Morgan Fox are two defensive linemen that they did lose as well this offseason, and it's probably the unit on their defense that has the most question marks, but Aaron Donald will make sure that that unit is pretty solid throughout the season. Rams did sign Ashawn Robinson, who will be healthy this year, and he will be back to kind of help anchor that defense. And more reps now will go to Sebastian Joseph Day, who will also have more responsibility on his shoulders now that both of these guys are gone. But for the time being, we really only have speculation to how these guys are going to perform, but the Rams did lose a lot of starters from last year, and we're going to have to see how these young players step in and perform. It may take them a few weeks to actually get adjusted to being in a bigger role, but I think their defense will still be good because they have two of the top defenders in the entire league in Donald and Ramsey. They have a few guys that can carry the defense until the young guys come along. But the biggest question on the season is, how is the gamble of trading for Matthew Stafford going to work out? The 49ers safety Jimmy Ward had some criticism to say about Matthew Stafford. He said they went and traded Jared Goff, who went to the playoffs several times and went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he lost. He went to the Super Bowl though. I've yet to see that with Matthew Stafford, and I'm saying he's still great. I believe he's a top 10 quarterback, maybe top 5. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going off what I see, and I see Jared Goff got those boys to the Super Bowl. Now, he does have a point that Jared Goff has been a really big winner in the NFL and Stafford has not, but is that because of the team and the support system around them, or is it really because of, just that one player? I think if Stafford was surrounded with the talent that Jared Goff had in his early stages of his career, Stafford could have done exactly what Goff did, or, even got him over the hump to win the Super Bowl. And I guess time will tell if Sean McVay is right in trusting Matthew Stafford to lead this team and get him over the hump versus Jared Goff. Jalen Ramsey has kind of noticed a difference in the vibe between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. Ramsey said, "You were there with Jared Goff, and I rock with Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff showed he could be a winner, and I've got a lot of respect for him. But like you said, they felt they needed to make a change, especially Sean and how he feels about offense and his quarterback, and he feels like this is his guy. Stafford, he definitely got a swag about him. He got a little low-key swag about him, like a little in control, like, this is me, I got this. He feels confident that it's rocking with the better overall team, and he's going to be able to put it together. And he's got that chip on his shoulder, to be honest with you. He's got that chip on his shoulder to show people like, man, y'all say I got everything else, but I can't win. Now I'm in an organization that do things the right way." So Ramsey's already very confident in Stafford, and it kind of points to the argument on Jimmy Ward's position. Stafford is now supported with a great organization and, a lot better team than he had in Detroit. We're going to see if Stafford is the solution to get the Rams over the hump and be a lot better of a team next year. Or maybe the critics turn out to be right, and Stafford, he can put up great numbers and be a good quarterback, but he's not going to will you and win games for your team. The NFC West is universally known as one of the best divisions in football, and I think it's going to be another very competitive year next year. I think Matthew Stafford is going to be a great piece for the Rams, and he's going to contribute to them being one of the best teams in that division. I think the Seahawks got a little bit worse, and I'm not really sold on the Cardinals, so I really do think the Rams have the best chance to win this division as I'm currently making this video. I think Stafford's going to have a good season, and I think if he can stay healthy, he's really going to prove to the critics and the haters against him that if he has some pieces around him, he can really ball out and win games for his team. And I think it's going to be really entertaining for the fans of the NFL to see Stafford with, a different team and a new organization that can really help and build around him. I'm excited to see Stafford and if he can take full advantage of his opportunity presented his way, and I think Stafford is going to make the most of his opportunities in Los Angeles. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and drop a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it. But let me know what you guys think of Matthew Stafford and if he's going to be a good piece for the Rams, or if they would have been better off keeping Jared Goff and building around him. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.